skits of Governor Amuneke have gone from simple comedy to powerful social commentary, becoming a mirror of Nigeria's political culture. And so that leads us to talk on Nigeria from fiction to reality, Governor Amuneke's personality. And joining us this morning via Zoom is Kevin Arora, also known as Kevin Black Comedy, but popularly known for his character as Governor Amuneke. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I can see you're dressed in your governorship attire. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's the work. We're about to go and commission some projects. So
I hope I'm invited to that. Well, first of all, I'd like you to tell us about your character as Governor Amuneke, because every character has a story. How did that idea come first to you, and what does the name Amuneke mean? Why the name Amuneke? Tell us about it.
Well, why the name Amuneke? Amuneke, first of all, Amuneke is the name I've used for a long time. You know, I used to, I still do play a character called Chief Amuneke, who is supposed to be a mischievous character, but I use it to teach life lessons, basically family stories and all of that, you know. So that's how we started. And but recently, when I started seeing some like the politics in Nigeria and Africa started getting worse and all of that, and sometimes I would want to do something related to politics. I mean, speaking of how this character came, traveled for my wedding and all of that, I realized a lot of people couldn't make it to East because of insecurity, because of this, because of that. So I started paying attention to why we have such increase in, we have such increase in terms of insecurity. So I wanted to do something about it. So the first video I made was speaking to, of course, I've done so many things on politics. So when I look at some problems that we face, I do content about it. So I used to even play a role as Buhari. Sometimes I play as a senator, sometimes I play as a president, and all of that. So I try to address the government with my content. So recently, when I traveled for my wedding, I realized the high level of insecurity. You know, the herdsmen attack and stuff. So I did a couple before I traveled for the wedding. But when I got there, I realized how worse it was. So, in a quest to address it, you know, I was so touched that I made a video publicly addressing the governor of my state. You know, because people were praising him and all of that for building smart schools and all of that. And of course, I saw them and I was amazed. But when I now saw the level of insecurity, people were calling me from places like Hamufu, that are getting attacked, and you know, this is not something I've shared with anybody before, but people who follow me know. So people who know me know this, that they saw the video I made addressing the governor directly, not as a content. And I said, these things are happening. People are complaining that they come to a harmful blah blah blah, and those people, the indigenous, when they came out to talk about it, some of them were silenced, you know, as they claimed. They sent me videos, pictures, blah, blah, blah. So I was moved. I know I'm a public figure, and I don't know what to do about it. I like the governor. I don't know how to address him. Then I came in a civil manner and said, sir, maybe you don't know, but these things are happening. Do something about it. And then he made a public statement saying that a lot of people are projecting unnecessary propaganda, and I'm like, what? Propaganda? I saw videos, people were butchered and all of that. Of course, at some point they said he did something about it, and so I don't know the full story because I'm not there. Okay, this way is not come at government. Of course, it's not the only one. Benue is affected. There are so many places. In fact, the whole government is soiled in corruption and a whole lot of things. So what I did was said, instead of me doing my family content, let me do more of politics, and then you expect a lot of fake commissioning from other states and all of that. So it occurred to me that I could use my platform, do my stuff, still create my content, and move on. So I started. I did the first one, and I did senator. I did the second one. I did president. I was still wearing these clothes and all of that.
All right.
And I did. So can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I did a couple, and they were all president, senator, and then this particular one I wanted to address headsmen attack and blah 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 blah. I just intentionally called myself governor. And of course, the name I've been using since is Amuneke. I just said Governor Amuneke instead of Chief Amuneke that I've been using. In fact, it was Dr. Amuneke, Governor Doctor. But it was as a governor because I needed Nigerian governors to be aware. So I did the video, and then the Governor Amuneke stuck in people's heads. And this governor. The content did some numbers. And then I did another one that I said, let's see the edit. I started gaining momentum. I'm like, okay, so let's see how far this will go. So I decided to keep the character to eradicate the bad governors so that they will be aware that we know what is going on. So that's how the character came about. So that's it.
Governor Dr. Amuneke, please, now we know that we're trying to dissect your personality behind the scenes. Now, could you, tell us who is Arwa Kelvin Chinedu?
Arwa Kelvin Chinedu is just a boy who came from a very poor background. Not very, but I lost my dad when I was in primary 5. We're 7 siblings, so imagine what it could look like growing up. Shout out to my sister, my other brother, my mommy, everyone who kept fighting for us to survive and all of that.